Alrighty, RTSSH21 here. I'm actually going to do a small tutorial here as a sample of what I can do with tutorials and whatever thing. I'm really loving this Cam Studio thing, I can't stop recording. Anyways, well, it screws up the audio, but that's okay. I'm gonna show people how to catch these lines on your characters without, and like being able to delete most of the white stuff in the white background, but just keep the lines. This is kind of a sketch that was inked a little bit poorly. It's missing some spots here, but that's okay. It'll do for the purposes. You bring it down to the layer so you can extra layer, and you make the main layer invisible. This is in case you screw up and you can't go back, which small chance of happening, but just in case. Now you go to channels, and it'll show you the RGB and all that stuff. You don't need that. You need this tiny little dot thing in the corner here. When you click that, and give it a few seconds there, it'll capture all the area around the lines, which means your lines are all. Now you zoom out until you can see the whole thing. Even though it looks like some lines might not be highlighted, they actually are. You just can't see it because, well, it's so small. Then you make your eraser gigantically huge, and you erase the white. Actually, you should probably go to layers first before doing that. Don't really think it makes much of a difference, but you probably should. Now, you have, well, you press any button that'll, like, deselect it, and you have your lines. Make another layer under that layer, fill it with white, and you can see your lines. And it should look fairly similar to the other version of it. The only difference is your lines and your background are now separate. Now you can make as many layers as you want. I'm going to layer this one at S for no apparent reason. Pick whatever color I'd like to start away with. Go in, just kind of zoom up to where you'd like to be zoomed, and start coloring. It's going to leave a bit of a texture from the paper. That's not bad. That texture kind of gives it more of like a realistic-ishness to it. Not necessarily that it needs to be realistic or anything, but it might look better in the end because it won't just be plain flat colors. There's also like many things that you can do to change that afterwards. So yeah, just color a little bit of it. There we go. I got a portion of the hat colored now, with just a basic flat color. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a darker color, and on a different layer over top of this purple layer here, I'm just going to color more, which is awesome. I don't generally fiddle around with opacity anymore when it comes to coloring because I've found other ways to do stuff, and sometimes opacity can look a little crappy. So yeah, once I figured out how to just use the burn and dodge tools, I did that a lot. So have your good old burn tool here. I usually go anywhere from between 30 to 50%. and burn some of the shaded area there. Just to give it a little bit more color to it. Now go back to your plain color here, and burn a little bit of that too. But not too terribly much, just enough to make it kind of blend in some areas. Alrighty. Now, you want to merge those. So you don't have to screw with them later. And you got a little bit of a colored hat there. This is probably going to be how you're going to see it, because I would generally size things down. Try to work at 600 or 800 DPI if you can. Those generally work out best, because then when you resize it down, it's going to turn out really cool looking. Another thing that you can do is, the reason why I put the layers together is, if you're not happy with the texture on it, you can always go filter and create a new texture. Let's see. Let's go with the texturizer here. And try canvas. Make a little bit of not too terribly much relief, because we want to be able to figure that, yeah, that's definitely a hat. If that manages to take away from your color, once again, you just reburn in some areas. Try and get things working again. It's not that hard, and all the layers are together now, so it'll be easier to fix things up like that. If you want to put a little shine to it, just make it look prettier, you can. Just kind of be careful with the dodge tool, because it works better than the burn tool, in my opinion. So it does its job a little bit too well sometimes. So just be a little bit careful when dodging. Now when we zoom back out, we have a hat that has a different texture to it. It kind of actually looks a little bit like actual cloth. But since it's just a texture laid over, it doesn't actually, you can easily tell that it's fake after a while if you just look at it. But it still looks darn good. Just continue doing that with the rest of the character, and you should have a very pretty and beautiful colored character. Just make sure you label your layers accordingly. Let's go hat. Because if you don't, you're probably gonna accidentally screw around with the wrong layer or something like that. Whenever you want to make sure that you don't destroy something, make a backup layer of it and just put it invisible so you know not to touch it, because Photoshop won't let you screw around with it if it's invisible. So that'll definitely help you. So anyway, it's a little mini tutorial. Don't really have the time to actually look at it. Damn it! I knew it. Stupid deviant hurting the ads. I'm gonna have to cut that out. So what was I even saying before that happened? Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm too lazy to complete it right now. That would take too long, and I kind of want to start working on other stuff. I think. I don't know. Do I?
Yes, you do.
In any case, that's my tiny mini tutorial of pretty coloring. As you see, that's a very, very pretty, somewhat colored hat. And I hope it works out for you. Hope you guys enjoy it.